Hello, everyone. Another game here at 2 Dawn on Fox, looks like. We're at 50 wins and 2 losses. I said I'm hoping to get up to 4 Dawn fairly quickly. Before getting started, I do want to do a quick mention of my YouTube membership program thing. You can call it whatever you want. Below the video, there's a join button where you can find the YouTube membership options. Currently, there is only one option. Maybe I will expand that in the future because I have some ideas on how I might want to do that. Currently, I'm just trying to get a good number of members so I can start doing some members-only streams. I was thinking about something like a pro game every Friday. I thought that could be fun for me and for you, but mostly for me because I really need to look at some pro games. Anyway, let's get into this game here. All right, looks like I might be white. Let's see if they stay. All right, just going to do double 4 points and see the type of game they want to play. They're approaching a 4-4, and I don't really care about approaches to a 4-4 when there is a 3-4 open. So I like to approach that first, and he pincered. Okay. I think I will just press it down even though I don't want to. And he is going to push and not cut. Okay, I'm fine with this now. Push and not cut is not really that good of an idea. He does have this really nice peep here, so I could play over the top if I want to sort of protect my shape. But I do also have the ability to go into the corner, so I don't need to worry as much about that. So I think I might want to respond now to his move in the upper right and see how he responds. Okay, he is backing off here. And so I do want to fix the shape that I have. There are two sort of options. I can just play this knight's move, sort of fixes my shape and puts me out towards the center. And then the other option would be to press him down. Press him down's a little bit more shaky of an idea, so I'm just going to fix my shape directly. Because if I press him down, he could decide to jump up instead, which would be a slightly awkward position. He is going to slide in the corner now. This is not very common anymore. I think I still want to probably respond. And I'm going to do the pincer. I know AI really likes this. I'll have to decide if I really like it or not. But AI does. In this case, we have to take the corner now. We need a base for our stones. He does have stones on the side as well. We need to be careful. And now we only have to think about this one stone here, and this is a little bit questionable on his end. So he is trying to sort of pressure me, but my goal is really to attack him a little bit. So we can block. There's like two different ways. I think for now, we probably want to, I'm going to play it fairly simple, and push is going to give him a little bit of strength, but I want to come out towards the center. I think that'll be very important. I'm just going to play very basic center moves. I'm not going to try to do anything too complicated. And since he is not pincering my stone, I'll be able to come back to this side really comfortably. Doing a knight's move to make it so he can't really press the stones down. And now we're going to get into a very complicated fighting game. Okay. He doesn't really have that much space here, but this is a very comfortable move for me to play, preventing him from getting any sort of a base. He could have slid into the corner. This is also threatening to connect over the top. Now this will naturally let me jump out towards the center now. Something I may want to consider is actually this kick. It's possible that black could have slid. Okay. It's possible black could have slid, whatever the right word is there, under my stones, which would give me somewhat awkward shape. But we just want to sort of focus on our shape here. I don't think I want to let black live directly in the corner yet, so I will block for now, though the outside might have been slightly more important. I will connect solidly. Now he's coming underneath, so he sort of wants to live directly. And so I think I'm going to take this peep here, which is just sort of an awkward exchange for him. And I'm not worried about this stone. This stone's not important. Running the group out and splitting the stone, splitting the areas off is more important. So I just need to run towards the center. And just jump again. I just need to get this group out towards the center as fast as possible. And now he is putting a little bit more pressure on this. I probably still don't need to respond to this one. But if I extend up like this, I am threatening a really nice cut here, which would be very, very helpful in attacking him. So I am going to extend up here. If he didn't have this cut, I would ignore this stone completely. But since he has this, if he fixes, then that gives me a potential I shape here. I don't want him to connect, so I will just block off the connection first. I guess I'll just connect as well. But here is where we want to cut him off in the center. This will be very, very nice for us. Even though he can live on the top, he needed to be connected in the center of the board. He's trying to make it so I can't cut him, but if I play the peep here, he's still double peeped and he's still not connected towards the outside. So now we can just cut. And he's not 100% alive on the top, and he has to care about this group. So now he lives, and we can just easily come out towards the center here. The reason I wanted to jump to this knight's move is because if he pushed me, I'd be surrounding him naturally. And if he doesn't push me, I get to push here first, which is damaging his area, which is really, really nice. And I think I will just connect my stones and not worry about anything else. If I stay connected, I'm strong. If he jumps, he's able to connect really comfortably. So we want to split first before we take any points in the corner. And since he is not going to take anything in the corner, we will attach and attack this group now. Can we cross cut? It's possible. It's possible. But for now, I'm just going to extend. I guess he can take this if he wants to. But I'm just going to fix my shape. Again, I'm not really worried about points. I'm worried about the fact that he's not really alive anywhere. So I'm just going to fix my shape. Everything looks really nice. And then I'm going to be attacking his group from the center here, because his other group is not alive yet. So my goal is not to really kill this group. My goal is to make it so that I'm surrounding this large area in the center. So I'm just going to defend here. Now I don't have anything to worry about with this group. And when I'm jumping here, as you see, I'm surrounding these stones on a very large scale. If I want to be a little bit more safe, I can probably come back to this now. As a matter of fact, I think I will do something like that. Yeah, let's just play the nice, simple move. Connect, stay solid. He has to live in this area now, so he has to be very careful. So we want to think about where our weaknesses are. He has this tiger's mouth into a cut here, so we can use this cut as a way to make shape. So I'm going to peep at his area to prevent him from being able to do that. That is an interesting move. But I still want the cut to mean something. So I'm just going to push here, still threatening the cut now. So now we do have this Aji, but at this current moment, all we have to do is run away. If he pushes here and he hanes, we Atari, 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 push, we're not really connected super easily. So we could also turn in the center to make sure we're okay first. Right? We're going to defend ourselves first. I wanted to surround first, but I'm going to defend first. I think that's a little bit better. Then we can defend again, threatening to cut through his stones. So now we're completely defended on all sides, and we can jump towards the center. If we jump and he attaches, that just feels like a really good move for him. Even if he can't make eyes with it, it feels like a really good move. So if his good move and the response to my move is this attachment, then I should play the knight's move instead. Just surround him. Now there's not really any space here to make two eyes. And we can even play very, very simple like this. And just extend here. Just connecting everything up and not really worrying. Yep, I think that's fine. Just connect. He wants something here. I'm not exactly sure, but this is not a good move because it allows me to push down directly. If I get to break through here, he's dead, and that's not very good. So now he has this eye shape that we need to do something about. But first, before we touch the middle, I want to exchange this move on the bottom. Now there's no Aji at all anymore. And if he didn't respond, I got to catch a stone, and that would be really good for me. So now we'll fix our shape here. Trying to cut this stone off. Okay, he wants to try to make two eyes with this. There's a lot of different ways in which we could try to do something. Let's play very simple. Just push in and reduce the eye space a little bit at a time. Just reduce. You can see that this is not an eye, and there's definitely no space for another eye here. So we don't need to respond now. And now we just need to figure out where our potential weakness is. And I think the weakest group is probably this left side. So I'm going to turn, threatening to capture this stone, which would make us completely alive directly. This is just the simplest way to play. I'm not really trying to do anything too complicated. He can wedge here, but if I Atari here and connect, there is no cutting point. So I think we can just Tanuki. So I will continue to pressure this middle group here. I want to push it this way so that I can naturally make at least one more move here, or I could also surround a little bit. I think in this case, I will surround. I had to think about it first, because I'm just wanting to make sure he has to force himself to live in some way. We can just back off here because we can connect underneath, or we can capture this stone. Okay. This seems like a good move. This is the only one I was really worried about, but we can Atari first and then connect our stones. And so he doesn't have the wedge here. Okay. It's perfectly fine for him to make this eye. I'm just going to fix my shape, right? We have this nice, it's not a table anymore. It's the mouth shape. Some people call it that. I don't know how I feel about that name, but we do have a nice shape there. We just need to stay connected. So we have two options. I think connecting underneath is probably the correct one. I could block the other way, getting rid of some cutting Aji, but I think this way will be perfectly fine as well. Oh, block. Cutting. So we do have Aji here, right? If he Atari's here, that's really awkward for us. So let's... we can play this move, which is sort of a weird move. I'm gonna play this one just because it looks nicer. That's the only reason. And here, He's cutting, but my groups are all connected in this area. And he can't cut this directly because I can capture the stone. So the only thing I need to worry about is this cutting point here. This is a D8. So if I capture the stone, that cutting point is no longer an Atari. And now everything else is also connected. So he does have this Hane here. And this move to potentially make an eye. I think the only thing I'm wanting to do is I want to push through here. I'm going to let him live as long as I can capture these 4 stones. That's the idea. I don't know if he can live. That's the trade I'm offering here. I said that is the trade I am offering. You can live as long as I get these stones. It's very tempting to try to get more. But I'm just going to do this one and take the stones. Okay. So he is basically just alive now. So I'm not going to worry too much about it. And we're going to focus on these 2 stones on the outside. I could take his corner as well. But I think we're going to jump here. We're going to attack these 2 stones. He still can't cut anything over here. So that's good for me. And I don't know exactly the way I want to do this, but I think what I want is this move. The idea is that I'm separating him from these stones in this corner, and we're pushing through the elephant's eye and potentially damaging stuff over here. And then we just want to sort of force him to connect up. We're not trying to be too aggressive here and attack him too strongly. We just want to force him to make some bad exchanges. It's quite tempting to cut him off over here, though I think he can probably live on this side. I think it might be better to do something in the corner. Let's just attach to the corner. Pull back. There we go, he connects up. There is still a little bit of Aji. I'm not going to worry about that. And we are just going to cut here. I'm not going to try to attack the whole corner. I just want to... He played the wrong way. He's supposed to Atari first. And then when I extend, he can live with the tripod shape. In this case, it's a little bit different. Because when I block here, he is just a dead shape. So we just need to stay as connected as possible. I think this, if we connect here and he cuts, we have fewer liberties. So I want to connect this way so that if he cuts, we have more liberties. Because the corner does not have that many liberties. And so we have this potential cutting point here, so we just want to Atari. This is also threatening to save our stones that just cut off, so he needs to respond to it. Okay, he can connect up underneath there if he wants to. He loses his eye, but he can connect. But yeah, seems good. So let's just play some endgame now. I'm going to attach here just so I can get this Atari for fun. I don't necessarily need it right now. There is a little bit of Aji here, but 4 stones would be very nice right now. But also just playing some of these big moves here. I think we can probably peep at this place, because if he blocks and I get to go up, I can capture these 2 stones. So I'll be able to connect up underneath. I'm just going to connect like this. This should be fine. I do really want to block here, but first, I think this is probably similarly sized, at least bigger, maybe. It's very big. This one, I'm not really making that many points here, right? So I think it might be better for me to come over here instead. And then just play these really big in-game moves here. These moves are always around 6 points or more. And I should always have more liberties. So if he connects, I can push again. And he only has 2 liberties after that, so I should be fine here. And I guess I can probably prevent this from happening, or I can capture my own. This one's technically bigger than this capture, but I think that is fine. Because this is so open, it's hard for me to say. Let's respond. Why not? I think it should be similarly sized, so it shouldn't matter too much. And then I want to capture these stones. Or I should have just done that instead. I forgot about them, I gotta be honest. We don't want to let him cut. I'm not really sure what his goal is here. If we really want to, we can push through right now, but I don't think it's necessary. We'll just make sure we're staying connected. He's dead in the center, so we don't need to worry too much about anything. Yep, cutting that off is nice for him. Oh, we should be fine there. Looks like we can go back here, though. But I'm going to capture these stones now before I forget about them. This is fairly large. I don't want to forget. I already did. We can just connect here solidly. That's only one eye. And we just connect here solidly because it's a bamboo joint. We don't want to give any throw-ins or anything to provide any sort of shortage of liberties. Because that would just be very awkward. Yeah, this is why I didn't necessarily want to defend here. But it looks like we don't really need to respond anyway, so we'll just go back over and capture this stone. I said they were basically the same size, so I was just preventing him from capturing. There is a cutting point here, so we do want to defend that. And we can do that with this beautiful empty triangle. Or we can just connect directly. I think I'll just do the beautiful empty triangle. And we can wedge here, which is really fun. Because if he cuts, we just snap back. And then now we can connect. Didn't really matter. But it made me feel better. This group should basically be fine. I'm just going to get this nice Hane connect. This should be Sente. Yep. Backed off. I guess that's fine too. He has to be a little bit careful with his liberties on this group, but I don't think there's too much to worry about. I don't know what I want to do. Let's just push through here before my clock runs out. There is like a Tesuji-like thing here. But it doesn't seem like it's really working right now, so I'm not going to worry about it. I don't know. Let's settle this area up. I think it doesn't really matter too much what I play at this point. But we just want to play something simple here. Just some basic in-game moves that he has to respond to. I feel like maybe this is getting pretty big actually in the upper left. Because if I connect, there maybe isn't too much dodgy here, but it's at least another point. Whereas if he pushes through, I think he gets that technically. So that's like 3 or 4 points, depending on if he plays again. But it's hard to think about end game in a game like this one. So I'll connect though. Oh, there is actually a cool Tesuji here where you can throw in at S1. This one should also be fine for him. And I'm going to just prevent his Atari here. Just for fun. Keep it very simple. There we go. Connect, connect, connect. That capture is Sente, so I will respond. We don't have to respond, technically. We can do this one as a response. We don't really have any points here, so we don't really need to worry about responding properly. So if we respond here, is this push and this Atari and this push, there's no points, right? There's basically no points. I mean, these are all our stones, right? So there's no points in responding. But if we take the outside here, we just capture more. I don't know what he's going for, though. So I'm just going to play this move. This is another point for me, I guess. I'm just all connected, so not sure. Not sure why he wants to play on the inside. Okay. Is there anything here, actually? It looks like I can turn, and now this cut works. So let's get rid of a point here, I guess. I think I can just cut directly. This was a mistake on his end. Because if he captures there, I don't have to respond, so I can just cut here. And then capture these stones. You can cut on either side in this case. I guess if you're being super serious about it, you probably want to cut on the other side. Ooh, this is a really potentially bad way to do it, but that's fine. Ko, maybe. Maybe he wants to do a Ko. I mean, if he's losing anyway, it's a good way to try to get something, right? Yep, Ko here. I am perfectly happy with this easy Ko. This group on the bottom might even be worth trading the group in the middle, honestly. So if he wants to do that, I'm up for it. I'll just respond. I was tempted, though. I was quite tempted. Because I can just extend here, which is an Atari. And that's at least one Go threat for me. If he's going to live in the center because of this Ko, I don't want him to be capturing any stones for it. So I will not worry about that. We can just throw in and capture this side. This would be good enough. Okay. Looks like I get to win on time. I'm just cutting all that out. Maybe I'll even cut out some of the end-game stuff. I'm not exactly sure. But I think that was quite an interesting game. And this is just a really, I'm going to say an obvious game about too many weak groups, right? I think maybe even the Fox score estimate might agree. Sometimes the Fox score estimate is very questionable. But if we just look at this, I just want to see, just for fun, right? He has all these weak groups. He lived here. He was trying to live here, right? So the score estimate says, it says I'm ahead by 24.5. See, I knew even the Fox score estimate would have to agree that this game should be fine for me. But even as we gave him more points, right? He took this corner away from us. All we have on this board, I just want to really point this out right now. All we have on this board is good shape. We don't actually have points. There's no points on this board yet. It's just good shape. So, estimate score says this is dead. It might be. Now that he's more likely alive on one side, let's see what it says. Okay, now, if he can live on both sides without giving me any points, he can win the game. This is what the score estimate's saying now. This is what I wanted to see. Now, the score estimate's not necessarily accurate, but this is why these players play this way. Because right now, if I don't have any points on the board, the game is perfectly good for black. I hope you enjoyed that. I think the game was a lot of fun. It's nice to have this sort of game once in a while. It's a good example of what to do and what not to do. And I hope you guys have a good day. Have fun.